Oh, we're a little bit early, but that's okay. Wache, Ani, Buju, welcome to my quilt along, my sew along. You need the pattern in order to follow along. I don't give any cutting instructions. Good day, Laura. Um, so you have to have the pattern in order to do this sew along. So let me grab what I have. I cut all my fabric earlier this week, so I'm very pumped about that because, that part's done. Yes, love. You want me to try it? Okay. That ain't working for me, babe. He's like, no. Oh, I'm gonna stick with my Starbucks lemonade. But thank you. Okay, we won't talk about that because that wasn't the best. I'm pretty sure he did it to get a reaction, but that's okay. We're not gonna. We're just gonna leave it at that. All right. So we went snowshoeing today. Super fun. I am not the most athletic person out there. Definitely am not in the best shape of my life. But we had fun. We were out there for about an hour. I think we did like, I don't know. We're not exactly sure how far we went, but we think we walked a mile. So we walked 2 miles because we went about a mile out and then we came back. Hi, everyone. So this is the possibilities. Quilt sew along. You get the pattern from Charisma Horton. It's when I looked in Canadian dollars, it was $43 or something. It's a PDF, so instant download. So you could go get it, start right away. We've done month one. My blocks, I didn't. Joe took all the stuff off my design wall because I'm working on another quilt with little cassette tape. Super cute. Anyways, we've done month one, which were these corner units here, these corner stars. It's a lot of solids in this quilt, but you don't have to do that. You can change it up and fix it however you want. Today, we are sewing. I think this is what we're sewing, the center of the star, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't actually look at where how all of this goes together, but I'm pretty sure that's what we're sewing today, those 4 blocks. It's a little bit of foundation paper piecing. So I printed out what I need. So you do need the pattern, and I've cut everything. So there's my blue. Maybe that's not where it goes because that's not blue there. That might not be where it goes. Oh no, they go over here. No, there's one there, one there. Where's the other one? There's 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's what we're sewing. Those pieces there. These ones. 1, 2. I don't think that's one of them. 1, 2. Oh, I wish I knew. Oh no, 3. 3. Oh, there's 1, 4. So those are the 4 that we're doing. So I have cut all my fabric. There we go. I've cut all of my piecing that I need. So there's my background. There's the colors that I need. This is a little, like I said, a little bit of foundation paper piecing, and then there's some traditional piecing in it. So we're going to have a lot of fun today. Um, what else was I going to say? This is also recorded on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, Quilts for Survivors. So if you miss anything, you can go there. Again, this isn't a class per se. I'm not giving instructions. It's not my pattern. I've never made this before, so I don't really know what I'm doing other than I'm following the pattern. It's more of a guide of this is what I'm sewing. So with me, this is how I'm going to do it kind of thing. So that's what that is. So that's what we're going to work on. Now, we have to make 4 blocks this month for this particular block of the month. You can make all of your blocks today. You can make all of your blocks later. You can just watch and sew along. You can just sit back and enjoy whatever you need to do. But we're going to sew. We're going to see how much we can get done in about an hour. So as long as we don't have any issues, I'm going to stay on for around an hour. That's kind of was the plan that I came up with the kids, talking to the kids and talking to Dave and just saying, how much time is it going to take to do this? Take as much time as you need. Well, I think it's going to take me, and I said about an hour. I think I thought it was that because there's a picture. Okay. So the instructions are really easy. One thing I will make a note of with this is that the fabric requirements are at the back of the pattern. Usually I find they're at the front, but now they're at the back. So in this particular pattern, but it tells you right here what you need to cut and then how to sew it all together. And we're going to do the foundation paper piece section first, this will be a little easier than last month where we had to kind of watch where we put things, what colors we use, things changed a lot. That doesn't happen this month. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to find my other, there it is. So what we're going to do, and we're going to cut, oh shoot, forgot to put back the one that belongs. So I'm going to put back the template so that I have it. Forgot to put that back. I think I ripped the original one, but that's okay. I'll stick it back in there and we'll see how this goes. I'm thinking I didn't make anything ahead of time. Like I thought I might get one made ahead of time, kind of hoping to do that and have one to show you, but that just didn't work out. We just, life has a way of saying, we're doing this instead. So that's what we're doing. Okay. Again, this is live. This is recorded on our YouTube channel, Quilts for Survivors. So if you miss anything or want to come back and see it, you can do that. I might have one too many of these, but that's okay. I'd rather have a couple extra than not enough. Last time I made a mistake and then I didn't have it there to help me. All right, so I'm going to move this over to my little tray. So I have my cutting station right here. As you can see, I have a cutting mat here. I have one over there as well. I have my sewing machine here. I have all the tools that I need. I have my at a 1/4 inch foundation paper ruler. I have my rotary cutter and my fabrics all pre-cut. Just to the left of me here. There's all my fabrics, all my colors. The only change that I've made is where it says light blue, I'm using this green just because I had so much of this light green that I wanted to use some of my stash. And then, of course, I did buy some fabrics because I didn't have enough and I thought I would, but I did not. But that's okay. And then my iron is just on the other side of my sewing machine. So I use a Husqvarna Viking Brilliance 75Q. I'm just putting it out there because a lot of people ask what I sew on. And then I have a little Oliso mini project iron that I love. I love, love, love. And that's what I'm using today. Okay. Oh, all right. So we are going to start. So what we're going to do, I guess I can read the instructions. Sew a test foundation using the basic paper tutorial before cutting the rest of the foundations. Oh, so if you want, you could do a test to make sure that it's, hi, it's Blue Turtle Craft. Hi, my name is Vanessa, just in case you're wondering, and I'm known as a quilter with a heart of gold. So you can make just one, try it out, see if the pieces are the right, because you can make them bigger or smaller based on how you sew, but I just cut them all out. So we're going to sew the foundations in the color combinations and amounts indicated. So if you're not sure what you're supposed to sew them at, these are the larger pieces that we cut. So these are the two, that's for this. These are the bigger squares. There's a little square and then there's two larger squares. And that's what you need is the two larger squares for this. The little squares are for, I think I cut too many of those colors. The little squares are for the traditional piecing. So there is traditional piecing in here, which I like. So you need your larger squares. And I cut my squares to the full size. So in the pattern, which I can't give you the size, but in the pattern it says 3/4. I just cut them at the next up. So if it was 2 3/4, I cut them at 3 and so on. So what we're going to do is we're going to sew a bunch of these and you're going to use, I'm just trying to think here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then you need, I think you need, what are these? These must be for the, okay. Then you need these. Your rectangles, your background square rectangles. These are for, no. Oh, there was only supposed to be 2 of these, 6 of these. I think these are for the to go with the other smaller ones. Yeah, okay, I think so. So we're gonna use these. So these rectangles are our 2 and our 3. We're going to lower our stitch length to at least 1.5. You could do a 1.1 or a 1.4 or something. I know someone was saying the other day that they sew with a 1.3, and I was like, that is crazy. That is just too small. Like, no thanks. I wouldn't want to sew that small. 1.5 works for me, so I'm going to stick with that. All right. Okay, so I pressed. You can press them, you don't have to. I don't normally glue my pieces on there because I don't like them on there. So you take your always right side of fabric facing up away from the paper, your good side of the fabric. We're going to take a pin. We're going to pin our center down. Then we're going to start with 2. You go in order. So 1, 2, 3, go in order of your foundation paper, whatever you're doing, even if it's a different one, even if it has 6 or 7 or 10. Then I'm going to use my 1/4 inch. I fold it over. There's a little lip on it, a little ledge. You're going to set it on there. And then we're going to cut. And I was planning to keep those. I decided I'm not keeping them too much, just too much. Then you're going to just sew. So you can pin or you can just sew. I'm going to pin it, I think. Usually I use a much smaller, shorter pin. I'm going to make a bunch of those and then we need to make 4, make 2 of each. So we're going to make 4 of this particular color and 2 of everything else. So set it down, take a pin. I always make sure I pin away from my stitch line, which is this actual solid line here. I don't want the stitching getting in the way of my walking, my feed dogs of sewing it together. So then we're going to take, sorry, just a second here. I'm going to find some pins. I don't like the super long ones. Well, they do work for that, but I'm just going to, you know what I'm going to do? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do them all. Let's just do every single one of them. So now I'm going to switch to orange. This is the dark orange from dark orange. So there's a couple of different shades of different colors. Press that over. This is actually a really, really easy foundation paper piece to do compared to some of them out there. And then you just fold it over, lay it down like this. And then, oops, take your pin and just connect them. Now, if I was going to do this right away, which I was doing with the Michael Jackson quilt that I'm working on, which is a really detailed foundation paper piece, it's kind of crazy actually how detailed it is. I've actually changed my mind and I'm not making it as quickly as I was going to. So I was losing my mind. I'm going to still finish it. I'm going to take more time because I would have had to rush and then I would have made mistakes. So 2 of every color with the exception of that medium purple. So pin that first piece down. You could also glue it. I just am not big a fan of the gluing if I don't have to, because I find that the glue, sometimes the paper sticks to the fabric and I don't like that. So I'm just pressing both seams. It does help if you do this, pre-press them. Just makes it a little easier. I'm using my light purple. Oh my God. This is so gonna look so great. I'm so excited. It's gonna look great. All right, so we're gonna grab another light pink or light purple, sorry. I did pick as many fabrics from, myself, from my stash as I could in order to make this. So I did pick as many fabrics as I could from my stash in order to make this quilt. Oh, I forgot. Run! I forgot to go to the bus. Oh, I forgot to go to the bus depot again. Oh, no. Damn it. I keep forgetting to do that. Remind me when this is over that I have to go to the bus. Okay, so this is the, I don't know what this brand this is. It's a little thicker. This is the medium purple. My dark purple was the Kona Solid from last year. The one I'm using. So again, trying to use that my skill. Use what I already have. Why buy more fabric if I don't need to, you know? Text David. What do you want to say? I need you to remind me to go to the bus depot when I'm done. Please. Sending. Okay, there's that one. Again, I'm going to do all of mine right away, just so that we can get on the ball. I think it'll be easier. It is a lot. We need 4 of these ones. One. I feel like there's just, I don't know what kind of fabric this is, but it's thicker than the other ones. This is why I don't use pin. Constantly I'm poking myself. Oh, there we go. He said yellow. Perfect. Okay. Trim that off. And then set this here like this. And then we're going to take a pin, poke it through. Perfect, perfect. And then we're going to do this one. You can only line up one at a time. You do have to come back and trim and line up the other one. It's not like, well, I guess if they were opposites, then we wouldn't have to, but they do touch at the tops. We do have to do one at a time. I keep forgetting to go and pick up my fabric at the bus depot. I got some stuff from Needlework Studio, which is in Cochrane, and there's a bus that runs from Cochrane to Timmins, and I haven't picked up my order yet. I'm forgetting. I'm losing my mind. I'm just telling you, there's too much going on. All right. So there we go with that. Pin it always sew on the paper side up, always right sides of the fabric away, facing away from the paper. Because that's the part you want to see. And I always rip the paper off once I'm ready to sew it together. Okay. So again, this is the Possibilities quilt. It is a Charisma Horton pattern. I'm just going to take them out. I realize it's probably going to make a mess, but I realize that I don't like all of this stuff in here. It's a Charisma Horton pattern. It's very easy to follow. So far, it's been great. This is our second month. And so far, it's been really good, really easy, really quick, really simplistic. So great, great, great. So trim, flip, actually, this way. It's just a little better. And then we're going to pin it. So pin, just like that. Perfect. Then we're going to do another one. I know I printed too many papers, but I wanted to make sure I had enough. Just in case. I made a mistake. And sometimes with solids, it's hard to tell if you have a right or a wrong side. But just pick the side that looks right to you. So again, I'm trimming it, folding it over, and trimming a 1/4 inch away. These are at a 1/4 inch rulers. They really help but you don't need them. You could just use a regular ruler. They just make it a little easier. But if you're going to do a lot of foundation paper piecing, I would say get them. That would be my take on it. Okay, and one more. And I have a couple extra papers, which is fine. The only thing with foundation paper piecing is you cannot chain piece them together. You have to sew one at a time, which is annoying, but it works. Don't see any questions. Don't forget that this is on, will be recorded and up on our YouTube channel, Quilts for Survivors, and you can check it out anytime. It'll be up there, and it'll be just like this live. Just like the live. I don't edit them. I just post them after I'm done. So you get that kind of live experience without that you can fast forward and pause and rewind and all of that. Because this is what I do. I do a lot of lives because it's just easier for me. So welcome. We are doing the Possibilities quilt by Charisma Horton. It finishes at, it's quite a big quilt, 96 by 96. It is already positioned as a block of the month. So we're just sewing it as a block of the month. This isn't really a teaching opportunity. This is more of a, I'm making this, why don't you make it along with me kind of thing. So I'm going to cut this because this is my leader and ender from what I was making before. This is actually, if you follow, you know that I'm sewing the Tulip Pink 100 blocks, 100 modern blocks by Tulip Pink. It's a book she wrote a couple years ago. What are they saying? Anyways, I'm making them. I'm on block 34, I think. Yeah. So I'm a little bit ahead, but it is February 1st. So I should be on block 32. So I'm not as far ahead as I was. So now what we're going to do is we're going to sew straight down this line. We're going to start a little bit before and end a little bit after. And then we'll press and go style. I'm going to sew one at a time. This is, it is a lot of work, a lot of prep, a lot of fiddliness with the foundation paper piecing, but it is a good, everything's really great. So what we need according to the pattern is we need 2 of every color and 4 of this color. So 2 light blue, 2 orange, 2 light purple, 2 green, and that's great. My colors are not exact what she has, because like I said, a lot of them are based on my stash and what I had. And some of them are based on whatever I thought I want. So you can really do it whatever you want. Always track of what you've changed and what you're used to what. So just going down on that line between 1 and 2. Anything a 1.5 stitch length. I'm sewing on a Husqvarna by a Brilliance 75Q. I am using Aurifil thread, the orange Aurifil thread. I sew with 2309. It's an off-white cream type color. And I have my walking, not my walking, but my 1/4 inch foot on. My needle is an 80, I think. I do a couple of stitches after just to make sure that when I rip the paper off, I'm not ripping out my stitches. So you're all having a great weekend. Um, and this is the first one that I've gone to show. No, that's not true. I sewed a little bit yesterday before we had to go do all our running around. Okay, that you know. And Friday I sewed a little bit, but I also got my nails done on Friday, so that was fun. Just something different for myself. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take on all the pins. So I kind of like to do it in little steps, like this is step one, this is step two, do it to all the blocks. I think this will be faster. So I'm all about to work smarter, not harder. So, if it makes sense to get it all done in one shot, let's do that. So they all have the same background, which would be the sections 2 and 3. So there's not a lot of thought involved in that process because it's all the same. Which last month, if you followed along or seen or so along, if you haven't, it is on YouTube. This is definitely better. It's 2 colors, it's all the same colors throughout. It's not like last month, I'll show you. Actually, I don't have the blocks up, but we had to like sew 3 different outer parts, and sometimes we mess them up. Those are mess ups. I sewed the wrong color. All right. Just noticed there's a slight this. Okay, so we're gonna press these back nice. Well, I'm just using my iron. Some people will say, use something non-heat related. I just use my iron. It's small. I can control where it goes. I don't usually touch the paper. So most of the time it's just fine. I just find I get a better result. If you don't want to do that, I've also used something like this, but I find I get a better result if I just iron the damn thing. So that's what I do. Okay. So this is background. This is our middle section. That'll be a nice triangle. We have one more step in this foundation paper piece. So we're going to do 3. We're going to pull the back, lay it, take our 1/4 inch, add a 1/4 inch. We're going to put our seam allowance in, cut it all off, take our background rectangle, put it on, making sure that, we get a little bit over and a little bit under. My paper is huge compared to what I need. So I need a little bit of glossy rim and then pin it. And then I'll show you how it looks. So we'll sew this one. So we on that line, again, a little forward and a little after. Cut some of these longer threads off here. This is why I love to chain these, because when I'm doing my traditional stitching, I'm going to pull all these threads. Okay, I'm going to take it over to the iron. I'm going to give it a press. Just a nice clean press. Hot iron is always good. Then what we do you? Oh my gosh. I'm not a big fan of it, but I love the accuracy with foundation paper. It's a little bit more work, but I absolutely love the accuracy. So we're going to cut off all of these right on this dotted line here is the cut line. So we're going to cut. That was a little harder to cut because it was through some seams and a few more layers. Just making sure our block is laying nice and flat. So we're not cutting off something we need. Okay. And then I hope I left enough at the bottom. I have to double check. Oh no, I did. Okay. All right, so there's our first one. And it is I don't know if it goes that way or that way, but it's for the star. It's one of our star points in this block. So it's really pretty. All right, so let's do the rest of them now. So we have one done. This is our goal, is to make these. We're going to make 2 of every color of green, well, light blue. I'm using this green, light blue, orange, light purple, and green. And we're going to do the rest of them now. So let's get that done. So super awesome that we can do that. And we're going to take this, we're going to line it up. And I always pin on the front. Oh, that was too thick. I need to get a couple more magnetic trays for the different pins that I use, because it can get pretty busy. Okay, so pull that back, press, lay it out like so. And like that. We're going to do another one. We're going to just fold it back on that line between 1 and 3. If you have, you can see here, maybe you can see I have a few stitches in there. Just gently pull it back. And try 1/4 inch away. Take our piece here. Lay it out. I love this orange color. This is a good one. It's a happy orange. I have a lot up that way. Could have put them on more. All right. And so I'm just doing the same step for all of these pieces because that's just how I roll. That's how I do. Okay. Work it around. Stick a pin in it. We'll get rid of some of this garbage just to make life a little easier. There are so many things stuck on the outside of this. Oh, goodness. Okay. Oh. Thanks. I'm gonna keep going. I don't have to think about the colors because we all get the same piece here. So there's no thought really involved. Okay. Messing up when I'm putting the right color. They all just get this fun. This is my medium dark blue. So super fun. Okay, then another one. Press. Another one. Oops. Let me do that again. All right. So I hope everyone's having a great weekend. We are working on the Possibilities quilt here in my home studio. It is by Charisma Horton. It is already set up as a block of the month, so it worked out great to use it as a sew along. I don't remember why I picked this quilt to sew or how I picked it. I don't remember all of those things, but it's going to be great. And then we started just last month, so you can always join in at any time. It's gentle foundation paper piecing. So if you've never done it, it's a great way to. I wish I had started with something like this and not, the dragon fruit block of the month, because that was insane for a first foundation paper pieced quilt, which I think my friend still has and hasn't quilted for me. But anyways, oh, got a couple extra of those. Straight. Okay. And then what was I going to say? It has some traditional piecing as well, and I love it. I think it's great. I think it's a great option. You can grab your copy. I thought you can get it on Etsy. I think that's where I got mine. I don't know. It's a PDF download, so you get it right away. And I never talked to Charisma about this pattern. I don't even know who she is. I just thought it would be fun to sew it, and then I thought it'd be fun to share with you guys. So I'm going to sew every piece. This is what we're making. We're making two of each, four colors, and then four of the light or medium purple or something. I think it's medium purple. Okay. So we're writing it down. Now the only thing with foundation taper piecing is you can't chain piece, and that makes it so for me. But the next part we're going to do from regular piecing, from traditional piecing, and we'll be able to do that. I don't like having to cut my thread all the time. I have to trim this and threads. Tuesday. Um, okay, I'm gonna come live. Um, with the intro block of the month, the intro to the block making for Quilts for Survivors. I will come live with that. Usually that's on the first Wednesday, but we are presenting a quilt. So I won't have time to do it then because we'll be at this luncheon. And then so I'll do that on Tuesday. Probably at the same time, Tuesday at 11. Intro to block making. And that will be live on TikTok and on YouTube. I remember to get the laptop. I'm eating little sour candies and they're so good. But when we're switching down, um, in case you're just joining, I'm using a 1.5 stitch length. I'm using just my regular needle that I would normally use. I'm using regular thread that I normally use. And I start a little bit before and stitch a little bit after. And I decided to just make all the blocks. Going forward, we'll focus on one just so we get one complete one done. And then we'll see how far we get. But I figured this was easier just to do them all. Maybe it wasn't, but then we'll go forward and maybe just make one block. Just so we can get one full done, because it does make them really long videos. When you watch you making everything. And you go back. But if you're watching it on YouTube, you can always fast forward and rewind. So okay, so those are all done. Let's take it over to the iron, and we'll press it. And then we'll trim up. And the nice thing about foundation paper is you get very, very accurate blocks. So really, really nice, accurate blocks where maybe you wouldn't have got it as accurate. You can use a very small piece of fabric. I've learned that with the Michael Jackson quilt that I'm working on, which I was going to raffle off, but I decided not to. And the other quilt that I'm working for that is very, very easy. Very, very easy. Much easier and less time consuming. So super great. Okay. All right. So this is what we're going to get out of all of our pieces. I don't need my pins anymore, I don't think. I'm just going to push them to the side, get rid of this, add a 1/4 inch ruler, because we're done with our foundation paper piecing for now. We'll probably have to do some more next one. I'll have to I didn't look at what next one was, but I'm around. I'm not going anywhere next month, I don't think. Well, I'm trying to go somewhere. I'm trying to get to a meeting in Toronto, so we'll see if I can get in, because usually, some of these meetings fill up so quickly. Okay, I'm going to I want to separate my colors. Just push them into the garbage. Okay, so we're just cutting it square. I don't even know what size it's 4.5, maybe. I think it's square. I don't know if it's. Yeah, I think it might be 4.5, maybe 3.5. I don't know. Let's see how big are these. I could just measure it and see. Oh no, they're not. They're like 4.25. They're like a weird size. Yeah, not even 4.25. They're a weird size. They're weird. The good part about having the paper, you can just trim it to whatever you need it to be, and that's without. Maybe they're 4-inch sewing. Wouldn't they be 4.5? I don't. They're a weird size. That's all I'm gonna say. Because I think the blocks are 10 inches or 10. Yeah, I think they're like a 10-inch unfinished block, which is a bizarre size. Anyways. Flip them over. Okay. So just lining everything up. We went sculpturing this morning. That was a lot of fun. What else have we been doing? Oh, we got laundry done yesterday with some errands. Oh, I forgot to mention, we want to go fishing this summer, and I mentioned that I don't have fishing. I've never owned a fishing rod. Always use someone else's fishing rod. Which rod can I use? Well, I have my own now. I have a nice light purple, not quite this pinky. It is close, similar to that, kind of. So I have a fishing rod and a little tackle box. So I will be getting, I guess, some tackle and some things that I need for my fishing and we get going fishing. I'm very excited because I don't often go fishing. I would love to go fishing more than I do. So I'm excited to be able to go fishing with Dan's trim on the dotted line trim. So you sew on the solid lines and you trim on the dotted line. Don't trim until you have everything in place. And we'll rip the pieces, the paper off. It's once, excuse me, once we are ready to sew them together. There are a lot of biased seams in foundation paper piecing, and you can end up with some wonky edges if you take the paper off and you're not sewing it together because it could stretch and shift and move. So keep that in mind when you're doing all of this. You can see I haven't cut the paper off yet. I'm trying to put my pieces in order, keep them together. Then the next step is we're going to do some traditional piecing, which I love, love, love. And I should move my stitch length up back to my default stitch length. Oops. I think I threw a bunch of paper on the floor, but that's paper in front. How's everyone doing? I know Laura was sewing along. I don't know if Bissy's on. I haven't seen her. I know those were two people who were sewing along. I don't know who else is sewing along. Maybe you can mention if you're sewing along. Thank you for following. Don't forget to like, share, and follow. I do come on kind of randomly at times. I used to come on a little bit more consistent, but priorities have shifted a little bit and I needed to also take time to relax. I was going a little bit crazy there for a bit. And my high blood pressure was out of whack. So I finally got it under control. And a lot of that was due to resting and, learning to just take a breath, focus, not, stress myself out trying to get things done. And, we're working on it. We're working on it. I say we, because, my family has to put up with me and all my craziness. So they have to work with me and help me adjust so that I can be a better version of myself. Okay. So we've done what they said. We have 2 of every color. So according to the pattern, you need light blue, dark orange, medium, a light purple, and a dark green. Our medium purples, we have 4 of those. Okay, so that's what we need. Now we're going to go and make our second set. We actually only make 3 blocks. These are 12 and a half blocks. We make only 3 of them? Really? I thought we need 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we only make 3. I thought we made 4. Okay, clearly I didn't know what I was doing. Okay, we only make 4 blocks. Okay. So now we need to make our center construction. So we'll take all our colors, and what we're going to do is you're going to cut the light blue, dark blue, light orange, blah, 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 to the square in half. Oh, I'm not going to do that. Just a second. It says to cut it in half and sew the triangles together. We're not going to do that. We are going to do one like this, one like this. two like this. You need two HSTs. I don't know why I have two of these. I don't think I need two. I think I just accidentally cut two of them, but I didn't mean to. I think I accidentally cut double. I think. So I didn't cut, I don't think I needed two. No. Oh, yes, just of the light purple, medium purple, which I did. Okay. Then you're going to sew, draw the line, and sew a 1/4 inch on both sides of the line to get two. Okay, so we're going to do, I know Bunny was here. I don't want to run over her little feet. Oh, she's over there now. All right. So I've adjusted my stitch length back to what I normally sew with, so whatever your default is. Draw the line, it's on both sides again. Now this is not what the instructions say. You can follow the instructions or you can do it under. This is not what the instructions. But you should get the same result. I'm not worried about that. Oh, look at my toes, Bunny. Oh, Mommy doesn't want her toes licked while she's around. Cookum doesn't want her toes licked. No, go. Go see your mama. Go away. It's all hard stuff and you're tucked out. Then I'm just going to rotate and sew down the other side. So 1/4, draw a line, and go on both sides. And so cut it down. You're going to sew. Okay, that thing. I'm not drawing the line because I'm using my diamonds. This is my favorite part. Chain peeping. Hold on. It's warmed up outside. It's sure our roof at the studio is just going nuts. Okay. I'm gonna do my leader and ender. There we go. Oops. Okay. And we're gonna do that. Now we're gonna do now for whatever reason I cut my other squares bigger, but it's fine. It's not, I don't think it's gonna be much of a heck of a difference. Okay, let's see if this cuts yet. So now cut them apart. So I cut them and they're already pressed. They're already stitched, I mean. I don't have to worry about that. Where the instructions say to cut and then sew triangles together, it's just easier. What's the matter, Captain? He's looking at something else. I'm getting mad. Okay. We're gonna do another one. There we go. And one more. There we go. Now we're going to take them over to the iron and I'm going to just press it to the dark side. We're going to press all of them. Okay. So set our seams. Roll them back. What we have made is HSTs. What or half square triangles. What we want to make is some 1/4 square triangles. So we're not quite done yet. So there's a set of HSTs, half square triangles. Get my pencil. All right. Just trying to get that nice and flat. We are starting the Dreamcatcher sew along Tuesday. Tuesday evening, I think. Okay. I don't remember what we're doing. I'm making like a log cabin block or something. We'll be just making one, I think. Now, so we're not going to trim them. We will trim them to a set size after we make them, but we won't trim them up yet. Okay, I find if I trim them up now, I make a mistake. So what you're going to do is you're going to take two similar ones. So two that are the same, you're going to press them together like this. And you're going to stitch them and you're going to get a block that looks like this. See how pretty that is with the colors matching, like the colors doing what they need to do. Oh, did I mess up? Oh, I did. I was supposed to, oh, I think I messed up. I was supposed to sew. I did. These weren't supposed to be blue. The orange was, the green wasn't. The green was supposed to be with the purple. That's funny. They're not all with background. Okay, I gotta change these then. Okay, so the only one that is correct is the blue, which is this light green color. No, that's orange. Orange, oh, I wasn't supposed to put them as background colors. The background was for something else. I messed up. I used all my background colors and I wasn't supposed to. Shoot, dang it, I'm gonna have to cut more background color. Okay, don't do what I just did. That's why they were so much bigger. You're supposed to put the orange and the blue together. Well, maybe that's why they wanted you to cut it in half. No, you can still do it. You want to still do it that way. Yeah. Give me a second. I'm gonna press this. Good things. Those irons are great though. They fall over and they turn off. Okay, so now I'm gonna have to redo this, but that's okay. I apologize if you made mistakes like I did. I'm trying to figure out why is it bigger than me. Okay, so now I'm gonna press to the dark side. So I'm like, why does that not look like that? Those were supposed to be corner pieces. I will have to recut some of these. That's okay. Okay. So then it's place this on here and you're gonna get a nice piece. Gonna be big enough. Is it good? If I fold it over, is it going to be the size that I need it to be, which is no, it's not going to be big enough. If I do it that way, it's not big enough. Okay, so that's why you don't do it. I should have cut them bigger. Okay, so we're going to redo these. Okay, we're just going to move all of these out of the way. And we're going to, what are we going to do? Green is supposed to be with the medium purple. Okay, let's do, we're going to redo this because I messed up. So let's do, well, now they're cut into triangles, so they'll work. I guess we have to follow the instructions. Unless, no, if we cut these at like 5 inches as opposed to whatever we cut them at, I don't remember what we put them at. I think they would have worked that way. We did cut them at 5. 5.5 maybe? Yeah, I think you'd have to cut them a whole inch bigger. Okay, so green with purple. Sew it together. I'm sorry. I could just follow the instructions and look at the picture. I just thought, oh, background, because it looks like background over there, but it is. It's deceiving. And I clearly did not read the instructions properly. Green with what? Orange? Green with orange, right? Green with orange. So don't always follow me. That's why this is not a teaching thing. And I almost always mess up now, which is just sad. But okay, we'll be okay. All right. I'm not going to stress about it. You know what? Everyone makes mistakes, and that's why we want to see Ripper to fix things. And I should have did a test block. Next time, I will do a test block to ensure that when I come on live, it'll be more accurate. So that I don't have that. But that's okay. That's why you need the pattern in front of you so you don't do what I'm doing. Okay, so light purple needs to be with the other purple. This is great. It's going to be fine. And I'll just cut some more blue fabrics for the corners. It's going to be fine. I have some here, so I have a few. And you know, I have a lot going on in my life right now. And not that I'm stressed. Maybe I am a little bit, but you know, things are changing. I'm trying to, you know, change things a little bit, not drastically, but just I'm being a little bit more demanding in the respect that I want from people in my life. Saying, you know what, maybe in the past this has been okay, or I let it slide, I accepted whatever, that this is just how you talk to me, or this is how you treat me. But going forward, I am saying not anymore. You know, I deserve better. We all deserve to be treated a little better. So let's do that. And that just, you know, people can't handle that. And that's okay. And my best friend just looks like she might have sold her house. So that's awesome for them. Sad for me. Like I'm so excited for them, but I'm also sad because they're moving away. And they've been a really good, you know, support system for me in the past. And am going to miss being able to just drop by and see them, or, you know, go out for dinner, or just call her up and say, hey, I need you to come over and chat. You know, I'm having a bad day. So, I mean, we can still chat. And that's for FaceTime and all those things. So I have changed the way I'm doing it. Follow the instructions in the pattern. Not follow what I did yet again. That's okay. We're getting it done. All right. So what do we say to do? Go. Am I sewing? I'm not even sewing these right. They're not sewing like Casper triangles. They're sewing like 4K. This is just not working out for me. This is not my day. I should have just, you know, took a nap after shooting. I just did too much. Yeah, so a lot. Okay, let's redo this because I sewed these together incorrectly, which totally sucks. You have to sew one way. Nope. I think you just have to sew them. Okay, so one, it goes this way. Okay, they have to be sewn short end to short end, right? Yeah, that's what it looks like. Okay, I'm just gonna sewing that because it's wrong. Short end to short end. It's just not my day. Clearly, my brain is out wrong. Okay, so short end. I guess I could leave them the way they are and just sew it from. Okay, so we're gonna finally get this done right. I don't know. I guess I'm just so used to making them where you make HSTs and put them over top of each other. Wait, I thought, no, I can just do this, but I didn't do it right. If I had made them bigger, I could have done it that way. So this is what I'm starting doing, ripping them apart for the second time. Which is, it is what it is. I'm not gonna worry about it. This is why I should have made one block in between. Well, I was gonna make one of these centers in between. For sure, and I didn't. It's all good. This just goes to show that, you know what? We all make mistakes. We all kind of do nutty things. And it's all okay. I am okay. All right, instead of getting out my another block to sew, which I sewed that one, so I'm just gonna sew this bone scroll. So I don't have to cut it or think. Think about something else. All right, Captain. All right. So there. Let's cut these apart. These are garbage. We'll figure them out. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to press them to the dark side. Press them to whatever fabric is darker. Then you're going to line them up and you're going to get your 1/4 inch seam. I'm sorry if you had comments. Real life, I cut the same wrong piece twice last night. Oh my gosh, Steve, this is how it goes sometimes. Thank you, Laura, for being so honest. We all do this. And I'm not watching the comments. So if you told me, hey, you're messing up, I would have been like, I didn't even see it. So there we go. All right, we're going to take a short. What are you looking at? The cat is on the pressing mat, got super scared about something. Mm. Okay, we're just going to breathe. I'm going to press this. There's so much lint on these things. Oh my God. I would have been done if I hadn't messed up. But that's okay. We're just going to forget about that. I'm gonna keep going because I messed up. We're not going to focus on the mess. I'm just going to focus on the fact that we can unmess up. Does that even make any sense either? Oh, these are both going the same way. Why? These aren't. Why are these both going the same way? I don't know. I will. So down or something. Rip those seams in. So this is what we want. All that just to say that's what we want. That is the piece that we want. Oh, these are going the same way too. Why are they not opposites? What did I do now? You guys sewed the wrong piece on the top. I don't know. Wait. This is not my day. Now, if I open it up, I don't want to open it up and it's the same friggin' so I wanted to do. Anyways, here we go. Here we go. Okay. This will need a good cleanup. It's got so much lint on it. So much thread on it. Not my day. I haven't done the same thing like with binding, trying to stick the binding together and you're messing up and not working out. So I just, quickly let's do a straight seam and sew it together. I've done that a few times. So now, this, wait a minute, wait a minute. This, pretty sure just, no, just a second. Yeah, this one. I don't know. You should have ripped it before. Watch me rip the wrong side. I think it's this one. I don't know. I truly am. I did stick to the wrong one. Oh goodness. Okay. This is just one of those days where nothing seems to be going right. Hopefully I can square these up really nice. And they look great. I should have just followed the instructions and paid more attention to the color. I was just like, hey, this is what I do. No. Oh shoot. No. I'm fine. If I made this wrong again, I will just fix it off camera, but it's oops. Catastrophe avoidance. All right, then we have one last thing to press here. All that off. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to trim them up to whatever the pattern says. Let's start with this one. Trim it to that. Okay, so we're gonna use this square. I can probably trim up all my linty pieces, is what I'm hoping. All right, this is taking a little. Hi, I'm new. Is this so? These parts were foundation paper pieced. This is the Possibilities quilt by Charisma Horton. These parts are traditionally pieced. And welcome. You can join in. You just have to buy the pattern and we sew along around the first of the month if it works out for my schedule because I do run a nonprofit organization. I do have 5 kids and a family, so we're busy. Now not all my kids live at home anymore. You're welcome. But that's where I'm at. That is the life. Okay, so this and this goes with this, and this goes with this, and this gets this. Okay. Okay. Looking and just trying not to mess up. So I'm cutting it to the size that it says in the pattern, which means all my little ugly linty pieces are getting kind of. I should actually use my rotating mat for this, but it's only 3. I can just do this. But it would have been good to get it out because it would have helped. But that's okay. All right, so there's that middle. Still very linty, but it's getting unlintified. The lint is coming off. Okay. Now, does that go with that? No, that goes with that. Sure. So I'm using my thing. So this ruler is the size that I need. It has the 4 lines and the little center circle. So I take that little center and I'm sticking it right on the center. And then I have my 45-degree line going through my quarter square triangles and making sure everything is nice and straight. And that's why I like these rulers. Because I can do that. I can see that it has all the lines and it's easy for me to see on almost any color of fabric. I don't know if I've ever found a color that it doesn't work on very well, because I find it works good on all. Okay, so now I'm going to put one together. So 1, 2. I will have to cut more of these, and I'll do that off screen because we're taking a long time. So now we're going to do, so now we have to rip the paper off in order to sew this together. So there's just 3 papers to rip off, which shouldn't be too difficult. We did do a quarter of 1.5 stitch length, so it should give us what we need. I'm going to rip these off. And then we're going to sew it together like an eye patch. Okay, and this is block month 2, and there's 3 blocks for month 2, and we're just following the pattern when we are, doing what we think we're supposed to be doing, and we are, yeah, that's what we're doing. We're just following the pattern. So this is recorded on YouTube. You can see all of the lovely mistakes that I made. That's what he sent me. He sent me something. Okay. I don't know what he sent me, so I'll just send it after. All right, so now what we do is we take our orange and our light. Now, in the pattern, this is light blue with orange. I'm using this light green because it's what I had in my stash. Okay. And like I said, I tried to use a lot of fabrics from my stash so that I wouldn't have to buy more fabrics. Oh, that's just okay. Maybe those are 4.5 too. These are 4.5, are they not? I don't. They seem bigger. They seem bigger. Okay, here we go. We're going to sew these together now, like a 9 patch. And you're not going to mess with it. Oh my gosh, this isn't big enough. This is too big. My foundation papers are too weird. Weird. But anyways. Let's sew it together. Well, come out to a 12.5 unfinished block. Way. Kitchen. One more. One more corner piece. There we go. Right now, we're going to stitch these together, these rows together, and then we're done one block. There are 2 other blocks we need to make, but this is all we're going to do here on this video right now. I was hoping if I could get it done in 1 hour. I could have. I hadn't made a mistake. Hope nobody else made the same mistake. I would just feel awful if you did. But that's okay. I mean, I was trying something out and it didn't work out. Would have worked if I hadn't made them bigger. If I had cut them back. That's okay. I will get it to you. or adjust prior to make a sample or a note to self. Don't try to get too creative when you're showing how to sew together. This is what not to do. Okay, so it's gonna look so pretty. Okay, at least it's gonna look pretty. That's what we want. And then I'll square them up later to 12 and a half, making sure that they're all in there. Which way was that though? No, well, just three. I don't think about coming. Blocks always are helpful. Let's go ahead and press. Press. Mm-hmm. That turned out really, really nice. The bulky seam there, but not overly terrible. And there we go. Block 2, one of 3 of block 2 in the possibilities block of the month. So that turned out absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I think it looks great. It needs a little bit more pressing, but I think it turned out really well. So these stars here, these star legs are foundation paper piecing. Everything else is traditional piecing. And follow the instructions. You won't have any issues. So thank you for joining me today. I will finish up my other 2 blocks later and let you know how they turned out. And I hope you are having fun with this sew along. Our other sew along, which I was going to do next week, but I'm out of town. I don't have it. Oh, I don't have it here. Where did I put it? I have no idea where it went. We're doing the I don't know where I put it, but anyways, we're doing the dream catcher quilt, and I've cut most of the fabric for the whole quilt already, and we'll be starting that on Tuesday because I'm not here the following week. So this sew along will always be the first week, probably the first of the month, and then the next one will be the second week of the month, just to kind of keep it separate. But because I'm not in town, next week we're going to start it this week, just so we can get a little heads up, get a little ahead on that. And there we go, block 1 of 3 for our block of the month with possibilities quilt month 2. So have a great and wonderful day, and we will chat again soon. For sure, because I come on randomly here on